Well, I'm so excited about today's episode of Have You Seen Sandy? I'm your host, Sandy Thompson. You know, some buildings are just brick and mortar, but others hold the very soul of a community. And today we are in historic downtown Pittsburgh exploring the First United Methodist Church, a living piece of history that has been serving this community since 1857. And who better to unlock its secrets than the Mayor of Pittsburgh, David Abernathy. We're going to meet with the church, and we're also going to meet with the church's pastor, Pastor Jeff Dungan. But first, a big thank you to my sponsor, Big Al's Barefoot Bay Resort and Marina on Lake Bob Sandlin, where it's the perfect getaway in Pittsburgh. So let's join Mayor Abernathy for a look inside this remarkable piece of Pittsburgh's heritage.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm Pastor Jeff.
Hey, Pastor Jeff. Thank you for having me over today.
Oh, we're glad you came by. I can't wait to have you see what's on the inside.
I can't wait
learn a little
to
about
hear,
our church.
Yes, I can't wait to see it and hear all about the history of your church.
Well, come on in.
All right. Well, Pastor, thank you again for inviting me to come over today and take a look around your church and hear all about it. I was wanting to ask you, since this church has been here since 1857, how has the church kept up with the needs of the modern society and today? How does this church specifically play a role in our community here in Pittsburgh?
Oh, good question. We're involved in various ways of serving the community. We've got a women's group. It's called the United Women of Faith, and they have various projects that they work on. Sometimes it's an individual family they may help, but they have helped everything from the pregnancy group that was here in town. A lot of times they are supporting other ministries. We also have a project every year. We call it The Church Has Left the Building, and we try to mobilize everybody in the congregation to do a variety of different projects. And we've got things that meet everybody's abilities. We've got people who will go out to a house and maybe they'll work on a fence, or they'll try to help somebody clean up a yard. But we've got other people who they'll put together what we call flood buckets for whenever we have disasters, and there is already an inventory of cleanup kits, flood buckets, that can be distributed. So we've got things, and it's a way of getting everybody involved in hands-on missions. And those are a few of the things that we try to do to keep everybody involved.
Yeah, well, yes, I've heard of that, and I love that.
Great.
So tell me, so if people wanted to come and visit your church, where would they go to find out more information about services and programs that you have to offer?
So probably the best place to go is our Facebook page, and you can look up First Methodist Pittsburgh. We have worship at 10:55 on Sunday mornings, and our Sunday school hour is the hour right before that at 9:45. We've got 3 different adult Sunday school classes going on, and we've got things for kids as well. Okay. So that's our Sunday morning lineup.
All right. Well, thank you.
You're quite welcome.
And you can also find out more about First United Methodist Church by going to our Visit Pittsburgh website as well, and all of your events and links are linked there as well too. Hi, Mayor. Thank you for meeting me over here at the church today at First United Methodist Church. Yes. Well, tell me a little. Let's start with the formation of the church. It's been here since
1857.
1857.
Yes, and started out just kind of an every once in a while church. They invited a pastor from Mount Pleasant to come over, and when the water wasn't high in the creek between here and Mount Pleasant, he'd come over and he would do maybe one service a month. This church was built between 1904 and 1905. And what's amazing about that is they started breaking ground on this on February the 11th of 1904. And they had the dedication on April the 2nd of 1905. So they built this church in less than a year, and all of it by hand, basically. We had electricity in Pittsburgh at that time, but most of it was built by hand. We had an outstanding planing mill here in Pittsburgh and all the amenities, but they had a architect come in from Dallas, a contractor come in, general contractor from Dallas, but everything else is built by local craftsmen. And to build this massive a building in less than a year is just, and do it, I mean, you're talking about hand saws, you know, and hammer and nails. There were no pneumatics, there was no, you plug in your table saw you wouldn't have had that. So most of this is just built by hand. To do the dedication of the church, the Methodist Church owns the property. And so that was one of the key things, is the church had to be paid for, no debt on it. So in the church that day, the day of the dedication, the bishop from the General Conference, Texas Conference, says, I can't dedicate this building with indebtedness on it. So that day they had Reverend Lon Morris, who was a large banker here. He pledged to give half of what they owed, and that amount of money would have been somewhere in the neighborhood of today's dollars, about $350,000. And the congregation that Sunday pledged the other $350,000 to pay the building off. So that one day they raised over $600,000.
That was a big deal.
That was a huge deal.
Yeah.
In today's dollars, of course.
Yeah.
So they raised the money, got the pledge, and then the building was dedicated. And then in November of 1905 is when they had the conference here. And my great-grandfather gave the welcoming remarks to that conference, standing right there behind that pew.
Oh, wow. So has your family always gone to church?
Yes,
with this
I'm
church?
fifth generation.
Fifth generation.
Yep. My great-grandfather was actually a Methodist pastor.
Well, I'll tell you what, this church, it speaks volumes of this. So this church has been here a total of how many years? Do the math for me.
120.
120 years.
120 as of April, this past
Yes.
April.
Wow. That just speaks volumes to the community and the history of this church.
Yes.